Nah, you should have been the triangle blade, homie. Nope. Should have dashed earlier. Yo, what's up, everybody? So, today we're going to be talking about the meta Cathy. You knew this guys was coming. You knew we were going to be talking about Cathy the moment she came out. I told you to sub to the channel if you haven't. And if you haven't already and you're watching this, make sure to sub right away. We have plenty more content to come out pretty soon. And about 70% of you guys aren't subbed to the channel yet. It would help us out quite a bit. So, click that button down below. But now, let's get into the video. Let's talk about Cathy today. So, this is going to be our generalization of Cathy. We're going to give a very basic beginner guide. That is the whole premise of the meta video, and then give you a couple builds to roll out and try yourselves, and kind of what we think about her in the current state of the game. So right now, no nerfs, nothing's happening, just release Cathy. She feels pretty solid. There's going to be definitely a mid-tier character, high tier probably in the right hands and in very specific matchups, but she does have a few issues, those being when she's incredibly squishy, and she is super ultimate reliant. Her ultimate is like the main part of her kit, and the cooldown is incredibly high. You could even see here right there, rank 1 is 150 seconds. It is such a high cooldown of an ultimate. Like, it's really hard, and you need this ultimate to finish off a lot of kills, especially in the mid to late game stages. So that's gonna be some of the issues she does have, but the strength she does have is that she has a lot of damage in her kit, and at a very low cost too. The moment she gets a purple weapon, she can take any fight she wants. Really, she just kind of beats people up, and this is to let her mostly like stat checking people. Her passive gives her a massive shield on it. Her Q gets reset once you proc the passive, so you just have so much damage going into fights early on to the game. It's really hard to not pick up kills very early on. And of course, her E is probably the last issue really in her kit. It's kind of janky to use. The hitbox is really thin. Sometimes you feel like it's not connecting. Sometimes you feel like it should have connected. This is probably gonna get fixed in the future, very similar to what happened to Rozzy. But yeah, it doesn't feel very good right now. But the rest of her kit feels very fluid and responds the way you think it would. So yeah, this character feels really nice. I'm personally a big fan of her. But with that being said, let's cover her abilities. So the main thing about Cathy is going to be her passive, Under the Knife. So Under the Knife is going to be a two-part passive, with the first part being that she is going to be applying marks on her target while auto-attacking them. As you can see what's happening to Magnus in this video. You can see right now he has 4 out of 5 stacks. On the 5th stack, they are going to be called Severely Wounded, increasing Cathy's critical strike damage on them, and actually granting a special effect to her Q, which resets the cooldown of it by 6 seconds. So this is going to be a lot to do with your kits, and it also makes them bleed. It's a true damage bleed on your target. So there's a lot going in the first part of the kit. So as you can see here, Magnus doesn't get critically wounded here, and he's bleeding out. The second part of her passive is actually going to be giving her a shield. Hitting an enemy with a skill will grant her a shield. There's pretty much not too much to say about that. It will also give her a movement speed that decreases over time. So you have a fading movement speed increase on her passive as well, and you have true damage, a reset on your Q, extra critical hit damage, and a true damage bleed. This passive has a lot going for it, and you're gonna notice your entire kit revolves around this passive. You're gonna even notice the cooldown here is not actually for the mark itself, it's for the shield. The cooldown here is for the shield, so just keep that in mind moving forward. And now next biggest part of her kit is gonna be her Q, double bypass. This is on a 12-second cooldown from rank 1, and it has 2 parts of it. If you're right next to them, it will be a stab, very reminiscent from Talon from League of Legends, or if you're at a range, this will be a dash to them. It is a very short range, so not much longer, or not much bigger than the original stab that you got from the short range one. But if you get them severely wounded while this is on cooldown, this is the key point here, while it's on cooldown, you will get 6 seconds back on the Q. You will reduce the cooldown. This is so massive. It is so massive when you reduce the cooldown. This is going to be the bread and butter of your kit. So you're going to get 1 hit on them. You're going to use a spell, get 2 more procs of your passive on them, get another hit, and then Q them. Cool. They're going to get severely wounded. The Q is going to be on cooldown, and it's going to get reduced cooldown from proccing that passive, and you're going to be able to use the Q again very soon, probably next second or 2, and that's going to like just deal a ton of damage. It's going to be really the main bread and butter of your kit. Now her W, Amputation, is on a 60-second cooldown from rank 1, and it is it's a pretty simple skill. This is pretty much Yone's W from League of Legends, where you're going to do a little cone slash in front of you, and you're going to notice there's actually 2 parts of this. This part right here, well, all of it is going to slow, but this last bit right here is actually going to ground your enemies. The grounding effect means that they can't use any mobility spells while they are grounded. They can still move, they can still run away, but they can't use any jumps. Say like Jackie's E, she can no longer jump away from you during fights as long as she is grounded. It's going to be very significant as well. You know, she's kind of has a little bit of a hard time chasing a lot of people, especially since you are a character that's very all-in. You gotta have to use all your abilities, very front-load your damage, and from there, if your opponent runs away, it's kind of like, well, they got away. But most of the time, you are able to kill them, especially if you do the grounding part of your W. So remember to keep that in mind. Now her E, Suture. This one is interesting. Right now, it feels very uninteractive. It doesn't feel super good to use, but on its own, in a vacuum, it is a pretty decent spell. It is on a very long cooldown for rank 1. It's on a 24-second cooldown. But as follows, she throws out a little thread from her arm here, and you can see it pierces Magnus, but it does also root him. It's a 0.5-second root, and it is not very significant on its own. But if you use it and they are aligned with a wall or another enemy, you can see here that they're going to pull them together and stun both of them for 1.5 seconds. That is quite the long duration, especially for a melee assassin. It's always nice to have something like that in your kit. So this is definitely feeling quite good, especially when you're able to get that stun aligned. But it also works for walls as well. So if the enemy is aligned with a wall, it will also pull them. So it's still a very significant ability, especially in solos, because you can align that wall stun very easily a lot of time as long as you're able to land it. In terms of teams, of course, you use on 2 enemies and you will get that damage off, and you'll get the pull on the AoE stun on them and just absolutely demolish them afterwards. Now, lastly, her ultimate, Emergency Surgery. So this ultimate does have a passive to it. If Cathy revives a downed ally, there's actually going to be a small healing zone around them for a small time, and you're going to notice, well, they start taking some HP. So it's going to be really nice for the team, especially when you got to make those clutch plays. And then her ultimate is, well, it's pretty much the only ultimate. It is a charged up slash, and this does 2 things. 1, it heals you, which is really significant. 2, it goes over walls, which is also very significant because the gap goes over. 3, it deals damage based on the enemy's missing HP, and it also causes severe wounds. So this does a lot of things for her kit. The main thing here is, really the biggest takeaway from this, is that this does more damage the less HP they're on. You are meant to use this as a finisher, as an execute at the end of your rotation. That is the main use for this most of the time. But lastly, this can also heal your allies. If you dash through allies, this will also heal them, which is really significant for team modes, especially if you can line up on allies and the enemies. This is going to be a nice chunk of heal for your entire party, and just deal a ton of damage to your opponent. So this is going to be really significant when you are playing those duos or squad modes. So just remember to keep that in mind moving forward. And then lastly, her weapon skill is Cloak and Dagger. We've seen it a million times. It is the Dagger skill. You go Stealth, gain a burst of movement speed, and your next auto attack will put you behind the opponent and deal 8% of their max HP to them right away. It's a massive chunk of damage. And honestly, you guys should definitely be very wary about this. This is how you're going to initiate a lot of your fights while on Cathy. Your combo is going to kind of go very similar to like this. You're going to Dagger skill in, and then from there, you're going to Q onto them. You're going to get that auto attack off. It's going to deal a ton of damage. You're going to W them, try to get the grounding if possible, get the severe wounds proc with the next auto attack, and then from there, you're going to Q onto them again. And usually at that point, they're low enough to where you can just ultimate and finish them off. But if not, you are an auto attack based character, feel free to start to join the autos in. If you get a Suture in there and get a stun off on an animal or in a wall there, try your best to get that stun off. It is very important to remember that you do have the CC in your kit, and then losing a little bit DPS uptime for that CC to kind of guarantee the fight is going to be really good. Because one of Cathy's biggest weaknesses is that she really doesn't have third-party agency. Once she blows her kit to kill somebody, she's kind of dead. She's not a Jackie where she can run away. She's not a Jackie where she can build a ton of tank stats or like movement speed or lifesteal. She very much builds in a slightly different manner. But for skill ordering, what we're going to want to do is max out our passive first, then our ultimates, then our Q, our W, our E last, and of course taking our dagger skill whenever possible. So, of course, Cathy is still a work in progress, and there are still a ton of builds that are being fleshed out. But one build I was trying today was this one. This was a build that Teska gave me that I was really, really liking. It was a very much of a hybrid Cathy using Carnarvon, because Carnarvon feels really, really good on her, in my opinion. has a ton of extra normal attack damage, has the attack power, has movement speed and cooldown reduction. And one issue that Cathy has right now is that her abilities have a very high cooldown. So cooldown is a very much of a premium stat within her kit, and you kind of want to use this as much as possible. So we do kind of opt for Carnivore, and right now with people kind of going Vibroblade a ton, the routing for this does become a little easier. But one issue with this build, there is a pretty big bottleneck in Hospital. Hospital, you need to find 3 bandages, but of course we're not really going to try to find all 3 of them here. We're going to try to find what we can as we enter in the hospital from Pond, from this little main area here, and we can't find a lot. That's fine, we'll get the rest in school. We can always go from archery range to school. We can go archery range, hotel, and teleport factory if need be. So you're generally never going to find everything you need in hospital. It's kind of never going to happen. This build definitely can be fleshed out a little better, but it did feel really good from the games I was playing today over on my stream, which you should be following if you're not, over at twitch.tv/Tomsorcer. We stream pretty much every day. We'd love to see you guys there. And yeah, it felt really good when we were trying it out. And lastly, we were trying out some Vibroblade shenanigans, but I didn't feel like Vibroblade was too great. So when it comes to doing like things like a Vibroblade, this is kind of one I found that was like kind of cute. This is a pretty simple 4-zoner. You could do like the standard 3-zone crit route, but it's like a 4-zoner where you can make like radar, because Creed Knight really didn't feel all that great on her, especially with the -MS on a squishy melee. Radar kind of feels pretty good. So this is like something you could do, you could try out. I tried it a little bit. I personally liked Carnivore a tad bit more, but crit definitely didn't feel all that bad. Of course, with any of these builds, since you are on Dagger, the biggest thing to remember is that you want to make a Frag Rush by the end of the game. Frag Rush, no matter what build you're on, is 90 attack power and is going to be the best upgrade you can make in your entire kit. So really remember to pick up an extra knife whenever possible and get that force core to make the Frag Rush leading into the late game. But aside from other transitions, there really isn't anything too crazy. It kind of is build dependent what you want. For the Carnivore build we mentioned earlier, I like to get off the motorcycle helm at some points, maybe try to find a tac ops off a body, or a route for a mithril helm if I do get a mithril piece. But aside from that, there's really nothing ever too crazy. Red Shoes is also a very good item if you're able to get the opportunity to make it. If you're not confident enough in your HP, you could definitely make a health item. You can get a magazine or a Schwerdinger's box, and you could just use one of those instead. Moonlight Pendant is also a very strong item on Cathy if given the opportunity. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of items, because you know, as long as you have attack power, maybe some lifesteal, attack speed, crit chance somewhere in there, it's probably a good item on Cathy. So yeah, I definitely just recommend playing out. And as always, you know, builds are going to get outdated. If you're watching this video maybe like 2 weeks from after it's been released, there's a good chance these builds might be slightly outdated. You know, of course, feel free to come over my stream, check out, maybe have an updated video on exactly what build you would want to try, or I could give you advice on what you would like to do moving forward. But as always, go check out the import as well and see what people are playing for that patch, because things do change pretty fast in the game. But yeah, I know that's a very, very, very long explanation there, but I hope you guys do enjoy the gameplay. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a comment down below. Make sure to like the video, sub to the channel if you haven't already. Hope y'all enjoyed the gameplay, and I'll see you all next time. Wait. Wrong build. Wait. Not the bad meant to go. That's fine. We're here now. We're committing. I just like when streamers say my name. Yeah, I could tell that had something with it, because that was definitely a name. That name was definitely something. Any chalices? Chalice check? Chalice check? Okay, it's pretty huge. Let's get the hell out of here. No chalices in church? Weird chat. Hey, I mean, I don't know. There was quite a few people here, so I'm kind of surprised we found it as easy as we did. Yo, DW, thank you for the follow, homie. Welcome to the stream, man. Same with Megadon, Axel Wild, Halsum. Thank you for the follows, guys. Welcome to the stream. Never thought they'd be building Carnivore unironically, but it just feels pretty good. Wait. Yo. Oh, the Tranquil Blade! Get the fuck out of here, you Tranquil asshole! Kill him! Fucking hell, my mocha bread is gone now. Great. Lovely. Fucking Pog. Oh my god, he's struggling at higher levels. Fucking hell, man. Buffed his character, he's so bad. He couldn't one-shot me with a rusty sword. Please. 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 Well, I'm gonna get there. I'm committing now. Oh, let's go. Okay. Okay, we're actually kind of cracked. Nah, you should have been the Tranquil Blade, homie. Nope. Should have dashed earlier. You should have been the Tranquil Blade, buddy. Otherwise, you'd be struggling at higher levels. You're not struggling at higher levels. You're not getting buffed. You're getting nerfed. That's some retreat action later on. Wait, more noise? Kinda poggies? Oh wait, that was bad. Are you gonna press the dash button? Oh wait. I think we just kinda still win though. I think we're just kinda strong right now. Alright. Kind of unfortunate none of you guys have this Tranquil Blade. It really is, truly. It hurts my heart. You just need to feather dust, right? Oh, short rod anywhere? Are you missing Stallion? You do not have the short rod. You have garlic bread though, which is kind of good. What am I even witnessing right now? The Tranquil Blade suffering at higher levels. That's what you're witnessing, in case you're wondering. Kind of a shit show happening here, I'll be real. I don't even know what I've checked and what I haven't at this point. Like I TP'd in, and now we're like 3 kills deep. And yeah, that's kind of all I know that happened. There's that. There's my creed. Home field advantage at hospital with Cathy. Oh, that's a butler suit. I've got something to get off of now. Alright, Dep. We also need a knife. These Cathy. No, they're on 11, right? Like a smart person. Yeah, I'm gonna temple regardless. I'll find a knife on there. Yeah, wait. Prince? Nah, I mean, he's just kind of gone. I'm just gonna TP temple. This is skillful? This is... yeah, skillful. Right. Skill. That's what this is. I feel very skilled right now. I feel like I skilled my opponents very well. Okay, so that's that. My knife's right there. Gotta start going to Frag Rush. Frag Rush Brawler seems pretty good. Frag Rush with the target. I don't actually know if Vibro's better. I'm gonna be kind of real there. I don't know if Vibro. I don't think it is. I don't feel like it is. It definitely hasn't felt better. Cardamom just kind of felt pretty good. Okay, I need my cooldown back. No, they're just over here. Right? And therefore we're doing probably because we're on pure crit. I'm kind of just killing people one rotation. Yeah, probably just viable for now, honestly. And that way we just double down the crit for now. Okay. I was kind of holding on to that for a tad bit too long. Yo, you were cooking? I think Carnage just overstated. Card's pretty good, yeah. Camo feather? Camo feather? What do you mean? I already have quiver. I was listening here. I want to reach shit, right?
Haha, business.
Not really. And we got here. Oh, plus feather boots? Eh, fuck it. Not bad though. I mean, we already have enough crit as is, probably. I think I'm sticking on you. I'm gonna stick on the optics for now. I don't know which ones you are looking at. I was playing like tank shit, so it's not gonna go. You're gonna get red shoes anyways? True. Definitely not wrong. Any dragon they're only fine, perfect for me? Yeah, no, I can agree with that. That makes sense. I'm kind of just like really strong though. I get wick. Wicky wick. Wicked frag, wicked red shoes sounds real nice right about now. Yo. I don't know, command the army knife. We don't even gotta get the branches. Look at that. Wrong click. How's gonna play this patch? Seems kind of weak. I don't know about weak, but not definitely not overtuned. She feels fine. Needs buffs? I don't think she needs buffs either. You probably just need nerf to, you know, really insane range champions, and then you'll probably be at the proper balance level you want most characters to be at. But no, this character is definitely fine. Jake showed you now for inventory space? True. Actually, yeah, true. Here you see fix her ease wonky as hell. Ooh, can I get it before his Aya comes? Since Aya's gonna one-shot me. Okay, wait, I can't start this. I can also one-shot the Aya. Dude, Wick, I swear I hate everything about you. Nah, I can't do this shit. I can one-shot this guy so easy too. That's like the worst part about this. Man, I get the buff, I'm not gonna get the stuff. Kinda sucks. I mean, the buff's still great, but I'm losing my transitions. He still has ulti, so I died him. He did grab everything, right? Yeah. Nah, I know ulti. I don't have ulti for a good while here. I'm too squishy. I just get one shot if I overcommit. Oh, wait. Shit. Sniper skill. Oh, chill, homie. Dude, I want your component so bad. This ulti CD is so painful. Please, man. Okay, yeah, that was really bad. I kind of got like the bird situation. Alright, I'm done messing with you, buddy. I'll be back later. Like 30 seconds later. Ooh. Fuck. Ah, kills me. No, dude! Oh, overconfidence. He's a slow and insidious killer.